Hey everyone, welcome to Team Building Bootcamp. Hey, I'm Gail Bates, CEO of MyMentorBiz.com, and I help leaders get consistent bookings for themselves and their team. I help leaders maximize their income streams to grow million-dollar teams, because that's what I did. So I'm so excited you're here today, and I do want to give you a big shout out for taking action and signing up for this boot camp, okay? It's a 4-week boot camp. We're going to partner together, and if you've brought on a team member with you, welcome to your team member. This is exciting. We're going to be able for you to work with your team member and power partner together on team building. Okay, so you received a workbook. You should be downloading your workbook because we're going to work from this. You'll get one of these every week for 4 weeks. You will also be invited to a very special secret Facebook group where you can join when I give lots of information in there. And we're just going to go on a journey and we're going to learn the steps to strengthen and master those skills of building a strong team, okay? Because my goal for you in this bootcamp is really to just leave this bootcamp knowing how to recognize prospects, who they are, all at your parties and everywhere, how to approach them, what to say to them, okay? The right words because you know they're looking for an opportunity and what you need to say to them, how to actually sit down and present your opportunity, okay? That's a skill that you're going to learn. That's in the 3rd week, actually. And then you're going to learn about following up and what it takes. I've got some special tips and a specific way of doing that. And I'm also going to throw in how to onboard a new team member as well. Okay, so that's the process that we're all going to learn over the next 4 weeks, okay, of team building. Are you ready to get started? Great, because now what I'm going to do is share my screen. I have a little PowerPoint presentation here for you. So I want you to take good notes, okay, in your workbook. Okay, make sure you're taking good notes in your workbook. And as I said, come back to a secret Facebook group where we'll be doing a lot of communicating as well. Okay, let me begin here and share my screen. Okie doke, here we go. I gotta make sure I can move this down. Yes, here we go. Okay, so we've welcomed you to boot camp. I've told you about the workbook and our secret Facebook group. And the one thing I didn't talk about was the weekly get-together on Zoom, okay? Every Wednesday. So you're receiving this on a Friday. I want you to do the work, that all the exercises, and listen to this webinar over the weekend. And then Monday, start to implement what you want to implement in your business from what you're learning. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have a Zoom mastermind session with all the boot campers come together. And it's a really powerful time. So don't miss that at all. Okay, so now let's get started. So I really want to begin by sharing with you my $1 million team, okay? When I joined direct sales, I like to say I dabbled for 6 months because I'd never really heard of direct sales, okay? I didn't have any idea of the possibilities that were available in this industry. So after like 6 months of my first convention, I got it. You know, I believed that if I worked hard selling, booking, and recruiting and growing a team, I could earn that 6-figure income. So I want you to stop for a minute and I want you to think about if you actually believe that you can earn the money you want or you need from your business. It's truly important. How much do you want to earn with your business per year? Do you want to earn just $20,000 a year, or do you want to earn $50,000 a year? I want you to think about that, okay? Because the key here is you have to believe that this will work for you. This is a business opportunity that's going to work for you, that you could earn the money you want. You have to believe in your products, that they do what they say they do. You have to believe in your company, and that's really important. You have to believe in this wonderful industry of direct selling, and you have to believe in you. You have to believe in other people that are out there looking for your opportunity, and you have to believe in you. But you really have to, this is how you believe, the belief comes, you have to believe in this very passionately. So here's the thing. For the first year, I did parties everywhere. I grew my client base, and I became a top recruiter. And then my team began to grow. And first we were a $5,000 team, then we were a $10,000 team, and then a $50,000 team. And then we hit the $500,000 mark. And the next year we made it to the $3 million mark. And when we hit the $1 million mark, we just went on growing to the next million and the next. And for the next 5 years, we were always in the $1 million circle. And twice we hit the #1 team position in the nation. So here's what I want to do. I want to introduce you to my $1 million team. We were a group of really dynamic and wonderful women. We were proud to be part of a power team that hit goals with many national incentive winners. Okay, write that down. These people, like your trip incentives, these were people earning those kind of incentives. We were a team who developed confidence by learning and helping others. We believed in running a successful home-based business. We always looked professional and dressed professional. We were in the fashion business, so that was part of our gig. We focused on helping others be successful, and this became actually my passion for helping others. This is the whole crux of direct selling and owning and building a team, is being passionate about helping others. We earned part-time or full-time income, and all of that paid for school tuition, car payments, credit card debt, and more. We chose our own work hours, which gave us flexibility and independence. And we were dedicated to having financial security, because with financial security, we had freedom to enjoy being our own boss and doing what we wanted with our kids and our family. But most importantly, as a member of our $1 million team, we had fun. We worked together, we helped each other, and it's these friendships that became lifelong friendships. But all of these were the core values that we operated from with my $1 million team. And these were the words that we all communicated everywhere we went. Words like proud, confidence, learning, belief, serving, and helping others, financial security, and friendships. This was the culture of our team, and it was the culture of belonging to our team that really attracted others to join our team. So it's important that you get very clear with the core values of your team. As we move through these exercises over the next 4 weeks, you're going to want to establish these core values for your team. You know, so many people think recruiting's hard. They think they're being pushy. They're afraid to ask people for fear someone thinks they're going to bother them. But what you're going to learn in this boot camp is that people are actually out there everywhere, all about, who are looking for an opportunity just like yours. They're out there looking for a culture of people who are confident, who share values, who build friendships, who want financial security. They're out there, okay? So when you come from a place of building your team with true core values, those who are looking will find you, because you're going to be emanating those values everywhere you go. And that's what we're going to work on in this boot camp. So on page 2, if you turn to page 2 of your workbook, you get to write down your own core values. What is it you want to radiate out to the world that's going to be your team on building your $1 million team like mine? I want you to get very clear with your core values and write them down on page 2. Now, if you don't know what to write down right now, as we move along in the boot camp, you're going to be adding to these as well. Okay, so we're still on page 2 of your workbook. It's time for you to create what I call a visual. How many of you have a whiteboard in your office? If you don't have a whiteboard, I want you to get a clipboard. On your whiteboard, start drawing some circles. I want you to be very clear with creating your team qualifications. What is the next level that you want to aspire to in your business? Are you going to move up to team leader? Are you going to move up to executive? Are you going to move up to director? Whatever it is, whatever the title is, on your whiteboard, I want you to begin drawing circles. So if you need 3 people to hit that level, or 4 people or more, I want you to draw those circles, okay, and leave them blank. And as you recruit each person, I want you to actually put her name in that circle. The idea of this visual, which is up on your whiteboard, is that you get to look at it every day, and it really triggers you to take action every day. Now, if you're somebody who's already got a team and you're actually developing leaders, then you want to draw a circle with the aspiring leader's name in it and start drawing circles under her with the number of people she needs to recruit. And so you're going to be helping her do that as well. Next, I want you to write down all the qualifications that you're going to need to hit that title. Write it in big letters, okay? What personal sales do you need to hit that level? What's the team volume that's going to be needed for that level? Any other qualifications that you're going to need for that level, I want you to write it on this whiteboard. And maybe come up with a name for your team. If you already have one, that's great, write it in there. But write everything you need to hit that leader level right on your whiteboard. Very visual in your office so that you can see it. This is a very powerful exercise. Having a visual in your office where you look at it every day is called manifesting. It's manifesting your goals. You know, I see so many people set their goals and just hope and pray that it's going to happen. But when you actually look at what you need to do to take action every day, it's going to help you proceed to get to that actual goal. So that's your first exercise, okay? If you don't have a whiteboard, I said, write it on a piece of paper, put it on a clipboard, stand it up next to the computer so you look at it every day. But once you get very clear with this vision, then we're going to work on building confidence, mastering your skills in recruiting, and helping you put people's names in those circles. Because when you have clarity with your vision, you have clarity with your energy, and you're ready to focus on taking action. So in the next 4 weeks, I'm going to teach you the skills and strategies to recruiting and growing a strong team of business builders. Those are people who want to build a business, not people who just want to get a discount, okay? But I want you to remember, as you grow your team, that you grow your team one recruit at a time, okay? It took me 3.5 years to grow a $1 million team. I did have a vision, and I did have it up on my whiteboard just like this, exactly what I'm teaching you today. But as you grow your team one recruit at a time, and each team member comes on board, that's what you're creating, a team culture that everyone will want to belong to your team. That's why I wanted to introduce you to my $1 million team. It was that culture, that sense of belonging that attracted others to join. And of course, it was a lot of my systems, like my Calendar Club team booking system, and other systems like my direct sales planner system, that I'm actually going to share with you as well in this boot camp, that actually made the difference in us heading to the top of the company. Now let's turn to page 3 of your study guide and begin the process of mastering the skills. So one of the biggest success systems in growing my $1 million team was implementing what I call the magic 6-pack of parties. What's a 6-pack? It's simply holding at least 6 parties a month. I call it 1 party a week with a hostess plus 2 extra. Pretty simple. It's not that hard, okay? The 2 extra could be catalog party or your own home show. But it's extremely important that you have at least 4 parties with hostesses every month. In fact, the more parties you hold with hostesses, the more chances you have of recruiting more people. You can do Facebook or Squee or Zoom or Visly parties. They're all becoming the norm. And they're great as long as you're making connections and building relationships with people, because that's the key, is the building the relationships to find out if people are looking for an opportunity. Now, my recommendation is to really still hold those in-home parties with the hostess, where she invites 6 to 8 guests, because this is the best recruiting environment. If you want to recruit, this is the best recruiting environment if you want to recruit and go a team, especially on the fast track. But again, the formula is to hold a magic of a 6-pack every month, 6 parties, okay? 4 of them at least with hostesses, because this puts you in front of at least 50 to 60 people every month. And when you're meeting, conversing, talking, getting to know 50 or 60 people every month, you're going to meet prime prospects who are people that are looking for an opportunity. So on page 3 of your workbook, you'll see a box that says your booking program. This is committing to your 6 parties a month and just figuring what works best for you. Figure how many hostess in-home parties you're going to have. Figure how many hostess Facebook parties or online parties you're going to have. Or maybe you're going to do your own home party. Okay, but you simply have to commit to doing these 6 parties every month. That's the key. And this is what I call your book of business, or your booking business program. Bottom line, you've got to get into the habit of holding that magic 6-pack consistently every month, because it is the first step to this monthly success formula. Now on page 3, you're going to see a formula of numbers, and here's what those numbers mean. So I want you to write in the words. So the first number you're going to see, of course, is 6, and what you're going to write after that is 6 parties a month. This is the part of the formula. Write in the word parties after the number 6, okay? The second number you see is 2, and that stands for 2 future bookings, where we're going to learn the skill of getting 2 future bookings from every party. So write in those words, 2 future bookings at every party, because that's what keeps you consistently in front of people to find prime prospects. The next number 3 stands for handing out 3 recruiting packets at every party. And we're going to talk about how to do that, what to do, what's in the recruiting packet, okay? And how to find 3 prime prospects at every party. The next number is called 18, big number, but it really stands for 18 Big Mac Connects, which is the morning after connects with people you met. 3 people you met at every party, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to make those 18 Big Mac Connects a month. And the next number you see there is 3, which stands for having 3 recruiting conversations a week. Now, this is what I call your success formula, okay? So it's 6 parties a month, 2 future bookings at every party, handing out 3 recruiting packets at every party, making 18 Big Mac calls or invitations to schedule appointments to learn more, to present your business opportunity, and then actually presenting and sharing your opportunity with 3 people every week. These are the skills that we're going to work on and find ways for you to master so that you're going to become consistent every month with recruiting and team building. So I want you to embrace your business booking program that we talked about, because it's based on this party model. Everything you want in your business comes from your party, okay? Consultants who think they can recruit people without holding parties are kidding themselves. Once you learn how to discover the prospects who are looking for your opportunity at your parties, you are going to get so excited to work with this success formula. At your parties, you achieve 3 possible income streams that give you cash flow. You have your sales income, okay? I call this immediate income. You go home with cash in your pocket after your party, okay? The second is your booking income, and that's that future income that's coming next month, okay? This gives you stability in your business, knowing that your calendar is going to be full every 4 weeks, and you're going to have that consistent income coming in. And the third is what I call lifestyle income. This is that commission income really affects your whole lifestyle. This is the opportunity that you have to grow that income from $1,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 or more every month when you learn to master the skills of recruiting and building a dynamic team. So it's these three income streams where that you're going to follow the path of your business model, which is the party. That's where we talk about the party. At the party, this is where you build the best relationships, and you deepen those relationships at your party. Okay, so we're going to work on building those relationships and work on you having a great book of business, a 6-pack of book of business every month. So let's move forward now to page 4 in your workbook, okay? Because I want to talk to you before we move forward about confidence. It's really important you know exactly where you are with your confidence level. There's 3 levels. So the first level is, or 3 phases actually. The first phase is of building your confidence is what I call the selling confidence, okay? That's when you're learning how to coach the hostess, present the product, talk to people, write up orders, get bookings, get sales. You're going through this first learning curve. It's basically making sales. When you first join, that's what you want to do. You want to pay back your kit. You want to make money. That's why you join. The second phase of confidence is when you've completed those first 6 parties, okay? You're now getting experience. You're feeling more confident. You know you're going to go to your party and make those sales. But now you're actually zeroing in on getting bookings. So your focus is building that confidence level, knowing that every time you do a party, you're going to make sales and you're going to get 2 bookings. That's the second phase of confidence. The third phase is actually when you are now moving into the recruiting confidence phase, because as you go to every party, you know you're going to do $1,000 in sales because you've practiced it, you're feeling confident, you know that's going to come. And then you also know you're going to get 2 bookings. You know how to plant those booking seeds. You know what to say. Now your total focus, and this is where I want you to be, is on actually finding and spotting the people who are actually looking for an opportunity. This is building up to your recruiting confidence. So in phase 3, you're focused on finding 3 hot prospects for your parties to share some information. And here's what's important. When you are fully mastered in these skills and you're aware of your mastery, that's when you're going to feel confident. And when you feel confident in your recruiting skills, you're going to let go of those negative voices in your head. You're going to let go of feeling anxious about what to say when someone asks you to join, okay? You're going to let go of that desperate feeling inside of you that thinks no one's interested in joining me, okay? What's going to happen when you build this confidence is you're going to get so good at discovering who that prime prospect is. You're going to feel so comfortable in sharing your opportunity, and you won't have any fear of picking up the phone to follow up. You're going to begin to recognize those prime prospects, and you're going to become so confident in closing people at your when you're sharing the opportunity. And most of all, you're going to identify the right prime prospect. Okay? Those that are truly looking for your business opportunity. Because when you master your recruiting skills and you become confident in phase 3 of your business, you will be recruiting easily, effortlessly, and consistently. How many of you want this feeling? Okay? So I want you to take a minute to determine where you're at with your confidence. Are you in phase 1? And on a scale of 1 to 10, with your selling confidence, your booking confidence, and your recruiting confidence. But we're basically going to focus on recruiting confidence in this boot camp. But if you are having trouble with holding $500 or $1,000 parties or getting bookings, I have a fantastic training for you. It's called On Your Mark, Get Set, Book. And I've actually put the URL to that training in your workbook. I highly recommend, if you're really struggling to get bookings, that you look at this training. It's really will be worth your investment, and it'll really help you become a top recruiter as well. But I really want you to feel confident in all of these 3 areas of your business as we move forward, and work on it yourself. What is it you can do to build your confidence level in each one of these levels? Okay, now let's move on to page 5 in your study guide. You understand the calendar confidence concept in keeping your calendar full every month. Let's talk about how to discover your prime prospects, or I call it power prospecting, right? So to find prime prospects, you have to be in places to meet people to discover who is looking for your opportunity. So I have a thing, I call it the menu of events. I train this with all of my clients, because I was out of my home at least twice a week getting in front of potential prime prospects. I want you to look at this menu. The top priority, of course, is to be holding 1 party a week with a hostess, in-home if preferable, in her home. Facebook parties, squee parties, Visleys are good, catalog parties, fundraisers. You can do what I call office lunch and learns, where you offer a quick 20-minute presentation to offices and share your product benefits. Companies love to learn about healthy skincare or fashion tips or organizing, whatever your company offers. It's a really great way to expand your prospecting. If you're truly committed to expanding your business, then pay attention to vendor events, trade shows offered in your area. I doubled my prospecting using doing vendor events and trade shows, okay? If you want a copy of how to get the most out of trade shows and expos, I do have a handout on that. Just email me. But right now, we're in the holiday fair season, okay? And they're everywhere. So take a look and see how many holiday fairs that you can be part of over the next few weeks as well. One fabulous way to build relationships, of course, is having that VIP Facebook group, okay? That customer group that are your VIP group, where you get their permission to invite them into a group. This is a great place where people get to know you, and they might be interested in learning more about your opportunity. You can also join other groups on Facebook where you can be power prospecting, and of course all the other social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, and build your own blog. You have to really decide which ones, you can't do them all, which ones are going to work for you. The whole idea of the menu of events is to ensure that you're working your business every week in front of many people to build relationships with, to power prospect, and discover who those next prime prospects are. So look at this menu every week and make sure you are very active in holding at least 1, 2, or 3 of these every week and being in front of people to power prospect. Okay, so now you know the secret to discovering where to find your prospects, okay? We are now moving on to page 6 of your study guide, okay? Let's get very clear with who you're looking for. I call the following people ideal prospects. So in your workbook, it says download the ideal prospect handout. And this file is actually in our secret Facebook group. And some of you who did my 5-day challenge have already done this. But if you haven't done this, I highly recommend it is, because I want you to make it your homework for the week to actually fill out this handbook. Because in this handout, you're asked to be very precise about the person you're looking for. You want to know her demographics, like her age range, her income range, her experience, if she's married, etc. You also want to know her psychographics. Knowing her, that's about knowing her pain points. What is she afraid of? What keeps her up at night? What might be some of her struggles? What would her situation be right now for her to be interested in your opportunity? So after answering the questions in that handout, start to write out the characteristics you want in your next team member. I gave you a few ideas, but it's really important that you actually write down the characteristics of your prime prospects so you're very, very clear on who you want on your team. Now, I want you to learn how to think about planting seeds. Once you know who you're looking for, planting seeds is a key to you prospecting, finding the right prime prospects. And if you look at page 6 of your handout, okay, so now we are actually moving on to page 7. No, sorry, we're going to plant seeds in the next page, okay? But I do want you to think about, so I'm flipping back and forth between pages 6 and 7 here, just to make sure you're on task and I'm not screwing this up for you. Okay. Okay, make sure, okay, actually the recruiting seeds are on page 5, so I'm going to have you just for the moment flip back to page 5, okay? So planting recruiting seeds on page 5, okay? Because I want you to get clear with this and I didn't want to miss it out. So basically, we are going to plant what I call 3 top powerful recruiting seeds at every party. Okay? The first one is in your open welcome, okay? You want to get really good at this because it's this seed, when you plant this seed, it actually prompts someone to ask you a question. So it's all about what I call your power intro. And it's simply saying why you joined your company, what you love about it or why you stay, and what difference your business has made to your life and family. And that's the key word, difference, okay? When you tell them the difference that's happened in your life and your family, they are thinking, look at her. She's joined this company and now she's able to pay for her kids' private school tuition. Maybe I should think about this. This seed is actually your best and #1 seed planter. So I really want you to get good at that, at saying the difference that your business has made in your company. The second seed I want you to think about is what I call the get to know you recruiting seed. Okay. And if you take the time to have a short, intimate conversation this is on page 5, if you're working along with me, it says on the left-hand side, it's on page 5, it says intimate conversation recruiting seed. So if they take the time to have a short, intimate conversation, I did this so many times at my parties, you're going to discover your next recruit. You very quietly ask her questions about her family, her life. And this is really going to help you find who's that person you're looking for. Because she's going to say something, and that's when I'm going to go through these next 12 triggers with you. It's going to really prompt you to know, oh, she's really somebody I'm looking for. And you're going to be able to give her a recruiting packet. Now, the third top seed to plant at your parties is when someone asks you a question. I call them green flags. And someone's going to say, how many nights do you do parties a week? Or do you really make money at this? Or how much does it cost for this kit? All these questions are prompts that you really need to be aware of because these are prime prospects. You may have answered these questions and just gone straight on and not even followed up with these people. So these are really, really important things for you to pay attention to at your parties. And you always want to answer the question by saying, that's a great question, because it gives you time to think to give them a really good answer. And the answer is really something like, my business is, this is the one to how many nights a week. My business is totally flexible. I hold 2 parties a week, and the money I earn pays for my kids' school fees. So when you've planted this seed with somebody, you don't say, do you want to join? You just say, it's in your head. She's asked the question, you've planted the seed, okay? Then you want to make sure you give that person a recruiting packet and you follow up with her. That's what we're going to learn more about. So those are the 3 top recruiting seeds that you want to plant at every party, okay? Now let's move on to page 6, because now I'm talking about those 12 main reasons that you're going to be listening for as well at your parties. And these are triggers. When you learn this about people, you know that they're prime prospects for your business. So the first one is, if you look at page 6, the first one says, love the product, okay? And this is the person who says, I want all of this. They talk a lot about the product. They show other people how to use it, okay? So that's a definite somebody you're going to be following up with. The second one is the person who joins because they're really looking for a second stream of income. So the trigger might be somebody saying, oh, I'd love to be able to pay for my kids' school education like you. Or it could be somebody who's looking for a part-time job, okay? That's a trigger for you. The third one is somebody who needs extra money, but is really looking for something specific, like she wants to pay off credit card debt, or she'd love to take her kids to Disneyland. So be sure that you're paying attention to that person. The fourth people are those people just looking for friendships. They're looking for a sense of belonging, okay? And that again goes back to your team culture, making sure you have that positive and fun team culture, that are those core values that we discussed. And this is usually a quiet person. So pay attention to those quiet people because they're really looking for friendships. Number 5th one is people who want to be their own boss. You know, they've never owned their business before, and they'd really like to know how to own your own boss. And they're quite impressed with the low startup in a direct sales business and just learning how to be your own boss. The 6th one is those people who need to work but need those flex hours. And you know who that is. Those are the moms, usually the stay-at-home moms who really need that income, but they need to work around their family. The 7th one is those stay-at-home moms who are craving adult conversation, okay? They're homebound. They want to get out. The 8th one is number 8 of the people who really understand direct sales. And they're really willing to put in the time and energy to build a 6-figure income. Pay attention to this person, okay? She's been in a direct selling company before. She knows the ropes, okay? Number 9 is that person you met who would love to have her own money, okay? They rely solely on their husband's income. So this person is really looking for your opportunity. Number 10 is that person who loves recognition and praise. You know, those are the people that's the life of your party. They actually stand out at your party, okay? Recognition means a lot to them. Number 11 is that person looking for a fun job. It could be somebody who's a corporate person who would really love to do something fun. And pretty soon she's so good, she comes from that corporate business background, she'll drop her corporate job and want to be a leader full time. And of course, number 12 is that lifelong learner, that person who's always looking to grow and learn from others. She sees you blossoming before her eyes, your positive and professional outlook and people learning from you. This is one of the great reasons why some people want to join direct sales. And lastly is what I call the diva, the D-I-V-A, okay? The diva stands for D is the person who's direct and knows how to make a decision. This person is going to sign up and make her own decision. The I stands for influence. She knows a ton of people, and people are influenced by her. The V is a person who has vision, knows how to plan, and the A is a person who is action-oriented and has a positive attitude. The diva is that person who walks into a room, makes an entrance. She is the one you're going to love to have on your team, and you notice her immediately. So I want you to be looking for divas at every party and every networking event you attend. Now, I want you to quickly do a little exercise. Get a 3x5 card and write down these 12 reasons on a card. So you have them with you wherever you go. Going to your party, read them over. Going out to a networking event, read them over. And then snap a picture of your card and share it in our Facebook group. Now you are alert to who is a prime prospect. And this is the first step to finding people, power prospecting, who are looking for your opportunity. Now let's move to page 7. Sorry for the little mix-up there. Okay, page 7, we are going to learn about your recruiting packet, okay, and a little bit about follow-up. So you've learned who is a prime prospect. You've learned those 12 triggers to listen for, which are the reasons why people want your opportunity. These are the pain points that I talked about. You have a solution for them to earn extra income, make new friends, belong to a team of fun women, pay off credit card debt, whatever it is. It's time to create a system. It's a follow-up formula that's going to ensure you are having recruiting conversations with prime prospects every week. Now, I want you to think about follow-up statistics, okay? 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% of sales are made on the second contact, 5% of sales are made on the third contact, and 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. But 80% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. Those are some specific sales statistics. So it's really important. The follow-up here is so important with you if you are handing out those business opportunity packets at every party. You have to follow up, and you have to follow up the very next day, okay? You can't wait a day or two even. It has to be the morning after connect, MAC, Big Mac, okay? So I remember again, you're not going to be mostly you don't sign up people at your party, okay? You're following up to share the business opportunity. Okay, that's the process of how it works. Unless you have somebody who comes right up to the party and says, I want to join, that's what we call a lap jumper. But follow-up is a skill that you learn and you master, okay? So I want you to take a minute here to make sure you have a very simple recruiting packet. If you have a recruiting packet that is jam-packed with too much information, you will not attract people to you. You will overwhelm them. So you simply want to have 3 things in your recruiting packet: your company brochure, your catalog, and maybe a flyer about your team. Maybe one other thing, but that's it. Everything that you have, of course, has your information on it, but the key here is to make this packet simple, not overwhelming, but attractive. So part of your homework is on page 7 of your workbook. And I want you to begin, this is to help you start to learn how to power prospect, to find people that are listening, that might be interested in your opportunity. So take the time this week and to fill out as many names as possible on the list that I have given you here on this page. So actually write down these people's names, because it's going to help you develop a list. So think about who's your best customer right now. Maybe they might be a prospect. Just write it down. The person who, and I know you might be disqualifying her. She might be your best friend. You might have already talked to her and she's not interested. People's minds change. So write the name down. Who's been your most fun hostess? Okay. Who needs extra income right now? Okay, think about it. Just keep thinking about who you might know. Have you noticed someone recently who's looking for friendships? Have you noticed someone at your parties that's kind of taking over and helping everyone else? Have you thought about it? Somebody that said to you lately, I hate my job. Have you seen a person at your parties who loves being praised and recognized for her contributions? Write her name down. Who do you know has kids in private school or college like me? I had 3 kids in private colleges, okay? And they're struggling to pay the bills every month. Who do you know has credit card debt and struggling and needs income? Have you met a young mom lately who wants to get out of the house? Or have you noticed someone who's never had her own money? She just relies on her husband's income. So go over this list. I want you to go specifically over this list and see if you can come up with some actual names of people you know, okay? These are reasons why people would want to listen And that's all they're going to do at first. You know, don't expect them to join. You just want to sit down with them and share more about your opportunity. These are your prime prospects. So really work on this exercise this week, because it's going to really help you. If you already have names of people, it's now going to help you move forward in recognizing the people who are actually looking for an opportunity. Okay, let's move on to page 8. I want to make sure I'm on the right page here with you as well. I'm pointing him. And it's basically how to approach prime prospects, to go to that next step, to set the time to talk to her, okay? And we want to do this without feeling salesy or pushy. So there are 5 prime prospects that I've written out, and I want you to write these down in your workbook right now. The first one is your hostess. At every party, there are these 5 people, and they are prime prospects. So the first one is your hostess. She loves you. She loves your products. She always wants to share your business opportunity with your hostess, okay? It's so important that you share that business opportunity with every hostess. That's really important. The second prime prospect at every party is that person who puts her hand up and says, I want to book a party. She's really into you, okay, and your products. So you want to make sure you're sharing your opportunity with her. The third person is that person who buys the most. We call her the largest order. People who want most of the product are people who usually want to join. The fourth person is the person who asks you a question, and we went over that, okay? Those 5 top questions. Be thinking about that. In fact, there is another handout for that in the Facebook group. And the fifth prime prospect at your party is that person that you get to have that intimate conversation with. When you have time to get to know those people intimately, they usually share information that leads you to think, because you've learned those 12 triggers, okay, that she's the person that you need to share your business opportunity with. So write down those 5 prospects, and I'll go over them in detail in our Facebook group as well. Now let's move on to how to approach these prime prospects to learn more about your opportunity. You're now holding your magic 6-pack every month. You're getting in front of 50 to 60 people every month. You're networking. You're meeting people. You're also online meeting people through social media. Perhaps you have someone in mind that you'd love to share more with her about your opportunity. So now you want to know how to approach her, what to say. And so this is the follow-up. And it should be done, if it's after a party, you want to make sure you're doing it the very next day, because if you met that person at your party and you let it go out a day or two, her interest wanes, okay? So maybe you met someone at your party who said she's looking for a part-time job. You give her the recruiting packet and you just say to her, I want you to take this information home because I'd love to share more about our opportunity. You can earn fantastic part-time income in our company, but take this home and I'll give you a call tomorrow and we'll discuss it more. Now, here's your next approach. She has the packet. Now it's time to schedule that time with her. And this scheduling is what I call the Big Mac Connect, okay? It's simply a 3 to 5 minute phone call. It could even be a text. It could be an instant message on Facebook. But MAC, M-A-C, refers to the morning after connect. It could be the morning after your party. It could be the morning after you met someone at a networking event. It could be the morning after you got an email from someone wanting to know more. The key here is to follow up within 24 to 48 hours. Because if you handed out your recruiting packet or your business card or your recruiting brochure, you want to make sure you're following up within that amount of time, because this person is hot. She's a prime prospect. If she remembers you, okay, that's why you want to be following up. So the goal is to set a recruiting conversation appointment. If you try to talk to her right away about everything and answering it, you need to be in this really environment where she's listening. Okay, so all you want to do now is to schedule that appointment for that environment where she's going to be listening to more. Okay, now if she can't meet with you, maybe you want to invite her to our take a look, or maybe you want to talk to her on the phone, but schedule the phone appointment. Okay, remember, she's a prime prospect because you discovered she has a need that may be the solution for her. Plus, when you met with her, you and she just really connected, okay? So here's the thing. You're going to be following up with 24 to 48 hours, and you're going to learn what to say. So I really want you to get really practiced and confident to make this call or to make this connect. So I want to help you develop a script. I call it the Magic Success Script, okay? It's on page 8 of your workbook. Scripts are what I call success language, okay? They help you build your confidence. So we're going to develop this Big Mac script, okay, that you can use over and over and over every week, inviting prime prospects to hear more about your opportunity. So once you get into the habit of this script, it's really going to get in your head. You're going to become so confident. You're going to want to be asking people to meet you. Okay, so the key is, okay, here, and there are 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look on page 8, there are these Magic Success Script. You're going to see these 5 areas. So the first reason was you make this connect is to thank her. You either thank her for her order that she ordered at the party, or you thank her for you met when it was just lovely to meet her at the event that you were at, or lovely to connect with her. But it's just thank her, okay? But for taking the time to schedule this call with you, okay? And where she usually has a recruiting packet. Sometimes she doesn't. She might just have the recruiting brochure you've given her. But it is lovely now to just thank her and build on that little thanking a relationship with her when you are connecting with her. So, that's the first reason. You've connected with her, you've shared this first reason. The second reason is now you want to say exactly those words. You want to say, Susie, the second reason I wanted to connect with you is that when we talked, okay, and you want to actually go over exactly what it is you talked about. It might have been that she was looking for extra income. It might have been that she's looking for a part-time job. It might have been that she asked about the price of the kit, or she asked about how many nights a week you go out. That's the reason you want to give her on why you're connecting, okay? So, and then you always want to share with her there's no obligation. Okay, that's really important. There's no pressure here. I just want to share some information with you. And then you schedule the time and the place. So I'm going to go over a script with you right now so that you can start to get really good at this yourself. So imagine I'm calling you and your name's Betty, okay? Hey, Betty, it's Gail with XYZ Company. It was so great to meet you at Susie's party last night. I really had a great time in getting to know you. And, I loved when we were talking about mystery books because you and I both love the same kind of books. This kind of makes it genuine and authentic. So, Betty, the reason I'm calling is actually to thank you for placing your order. I want you to know I've placed the order. You should be receiving it in about 7 to 10 days. But, Susie, the real reason I'm calling here is that when we talked, you mentioned that you were looking for a part-time job. And I actually gave you that recruiting packet to go over. I don't know if you've had time to go over it yet. But, I'd really love to sit down with you and really share more information about our business opportunity in my company. There's really, when we get together, there's no obligation. If it's not for you, you might know somebody that might be interested. But I just want to sit down, have coffee, get to know each other, and share with you a little bit more about how my business opportunity works. So I'm buying the lattes, Betty. How about next Thursday at 10 at Starbucks? I'd love to meet with you. Would that work for you? Or we could do it on Friday. So that's the kind of conversation you want to have when you're making what I call that Big Mac Connect. This might be you might be writing this in a text to somebody, but that's how friendly and easy it is to make that connection, to make that, have that script ready, and to make that connect, to set up the time for have that environment where you're going to actually share your business opportunity. And this is a key step. Most people miss this step and they don't get any, people don't go to that finding out more about the opportunity, because it's that environment that you meet that person, or you're on the phone with that person over for 20 to 30 minutes, that really truly helps you find that next recruit. That person begins to get to know you, you build a relationship, and they want to be part of your team. So we have learned how to make this, what I call this big Mac Connect, after the party, after you've met somebody at the event. I want you to really go over that script, write it out. We'll actually talk more about this in our Facebook group, because this is one part of the chain of how you prospect, how you meet somebody to share more about the opportunity, and how you follow up with them to see when the time is right with them. And then you bring them on board. And of course, presenting the opportunity. So all of that process, this is one key process of following up that I really and truly want you to get. So go over page 8, okay, in your workbook. Make sure you're following that. Learn about the 5 prime prospects. And then on page 9, you have another little exercise to do. Lots of exercises, right? I hope they're helpful for you, because this is how you learn. I call this accelerated learning technique. So there's a specific reason I'm putting these exercises in here for you to learn. Okay, so page 9, prospect party list. This is actually something you can print out and use every week, okay? And so I want you to have this list every week and making sure that you're following up. So it could be somebody that you planted a seed with. It could be somebody you had a wonderful, intimate conversation with at your party. Perhaps it was somebody who asked you a question, okay? But I really want you to get familiar with writing down their names. This is the name of your prime prospect that you met this week, this past week, where you met them, the reason you met them, one of those 12 triggers usually, okay? And scheduling that recruiting conversation. What date do you have that recruiting conversation scheduled? And then, of course, what is the next step for that person, or the next connect with that person? But when you get into the habit of approaching and inviting prime prospects every week and setting up recruiting conversations, you are on your way to building a team of business builders, okay? That's the very important part of what you're learning, power prospecting this week, okay, in this first week of boot camp. So this ends your first week of team building boot camp. We're actually going to go over all of this again in very, very quickly in our Wednesday call, where I'm actually live with you and answering questions for you. But on page 10 of your study guide, I want you to complete your call to action for me. Write down what is the most important area you learned in this module. This is probably the longest module that you'll get, okay? Because I really want to set you up for success in understanding these specific steps. So answer the questions. What skill will you want to improve with your recruiting? What will you do to overcome your fear of recruiting, if you have any, okay? And email me. Let me know. I want to communicate with you, and let me know what's happening. And then I'd love you to share in our Facebook group. Please become active in that Facebook group. We all learn from each other. And get recruiting, okay? That's my call to action for you. I really want you to learn to love recruiting as much as I did. Love to hear people's stories. Love to have those people join your team. And and building a strong team. So lastly today, I just want to leave you with this. It's called the Whatever It Takes attitude, the WITA. It's an acronym that I actually developed myself for running my own business. It's that whatever it takes attitude, okay? People use excuses like, I don't have the money, I don't have enough time, or they blame people or others for stopping their success. And that's what we call self-sabotage, right? People use excuses every day, but it's all in your mind. It's that mindset piece of your business. If you were thrust with a life or death situation, you would find the money, you would make the time. And to achieve success, you really got to be willing to take the whatever it takes attitude, approach to your business. So I want you to pay attention to your excuses this week. If you're hesitating to pick up the phone, I want you to think of the WITA. If you feel uncomfortable asking someone to meet you for coffee, think about whatever it takes, that attitude of asking. If you think you're not practiced enough to make that Big Mac connect, think about doing it anyway, okay? Don't let that excuse get in your way. Because when you say yes to opportunity and do whatever it takes, the minute you do that, your business and your income changes immediately. So a whatever it takes attitude approach is really one of the most empowering attitudes that you can have in business. It keeps you focused on moving towards your goals, on finding solutions, on taking actions, and building that strong team of business builders that you want. I look forward to talking to you on Wednesday in our mastermind group. I'm going to be available for all the questions that you want, so don't miss it, okay? It will be a great call. So have a great week, everybody, and thanks for being on today's first module of Team Building Bootcamp. I can't wait to share with you the next module next Friday. Bye.